Welcome back for another top-notch video. This week, guys, we'll be talking about the week of 7 June through 11 June. Had a great week in stocks. As always, the top-notch channel is about TSP, or the Thrift Savings Plan. We talk about the C, S, I, and F fund if you're in the Thrift Savings Plan. We also talk about the ETFs, IVV, VXF, EFA, and AGG. As always, these funds, this top one here equals the S&P 500. This middle one here is small caps. The I fund or EFA is international markets, and the F fund or AGG is bonds. We do a very general overview video. We go into a technical analysis, and then we show you guys where the top-notch channel is in for funds for that week. If that interests you, please like, subscribe, or share. Really appreciate you guys following us on Twitter, Facebook, and our YouTube channel. Let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to start off with this week, guys, is the funds. We go to the TSP Talk website. Kind of gives us a general overview of what we see for the week. As you can see here, all our funds were up for the week, guys. F, C, S, and I, all up for the week. And guess what fund we were in for the Top Notch channel? We had 50% of our portfolio in the top performing fund, so we were doing very well this week, with the S fund gaining the most, being 2.3%. Other funds just behind that. Even AGG was able to squeak out 0.5% this week, so they did very, very well. On our weekly wrap-up that is done by Tommy on the the TSP website, I would definitely recommend checking them out. Great little analysis here. As you can see, the S&P 500 or that C fund is just cracking above this triple top. That is a positive thing. Usually with the triple top, funds tend to go up from there. We're above all our moving averages, doing very well there. That's a very positive sign for the C fund. Good fund to be in. As long for S fund, the S fund VXF, guys, is also doing well. This has turned into, we thought it was going to be something like a bear flag, and it continued to rise. Now it looks like a V-shaped little recovery here. And if we can break this here, this will be a triple top as well. And as we can see with triple tops here, 1, 2, 3, triple top here, 1, 2, 3. Good positive things could happen this week here as well. We could break that triple top and continue to see that to rise. For EFA or the I fund international markets, what are we seeing? This fund is also continuing to go up in its upward trend line. Has not broke that, doing very well there. And bonds, what are we seeing there? We are now above that 200-day moving average. Very good. Gap was filled down here below. That's a very positive sign. We have this gap up here from all the way back in February, and that's where it seems to be going next. So we're seeing a recovery on that. Things look very well moving forward with all of our stock funds this week. Let's go right into our analysis with our funds. So the first thing we're going to start off with is IVV or the C fund, the S&P 500. What are we seeing here? Look at these trend lines. We've had these trend lines drawn in for the S&P 500 for a very long time here. It stayed in an upward trend here. Look at this 200-day moving average. Shoot, straight up there, above our moving averages. Lots of room to go up here. Not so much room to go down here, so that's positive. Good fund to look into in the future for this. That is a very positive sign, but let's pull it up on our technical analysis and see where we're at from there. So with our technical analysis, the few indicators we like to look at is short and long-term charts. For our IVV, the two indicators we like to look at is the derivative oscillator and the price percentage oscillator. The derivative oscillator is these red and green bars, and with that, when the green bars are going down and into red bars, price, which is up here, tends to go down, and when the red bars go into green, price tends to go up. So that's our first indicator. And then our second indicator is the price percentage oscillator. With that, that is the blue line here. And when it is above the red line or the moving average line, price tends to go up. And when it goes below the moving average, or blue below the red, price tends to go down. So those are our two indicators we like to look at. For charts, we're going to be looking at the month of May and June here for long-term charts. And we like to look at these two things and give you guys kind of an idea of where things are going in the future. Either that is yellow, proceed with caution, green, good fun to get into, or red, not at this time. So what are we seeing with price on IVV or the C fund? As you can see here, guys, the derivative oscillator is moving down here. This is another week down. Last week we were at 0.8. This week we're at, go ahead, and 0.5. So that is negative there. Our price percentage oscillator is also down just a little bit. That makes this chart for the long-term basis a red flag. Not something I'd want to get involved in on the long-term charts, but if we look at the short-term charts, we saw a huge difference for this week. As you can see, we are having a positive sign on our short-term charts. Price up here, oscillators down here, and what do we have here is, as you can see, just about hit the negative here. It looked like things were not going to go positive. And then on the last day of June, on that Friday, we popped back positive on our derivative oscillator. Good things there. And our price percentage oscillator is starting to move up a little bit. This is a yellow, proceed with caution. That's a much better sign for the short-term basis for IVV. I see there's some of the other charts are a little bit better than this one, so that's just why I would say proceed with caution. Here we have a spinning top. That means a line on top, line on bottom for price. So that's indecision here. A lot of indecision. Indecision. The investors really did not know what they want to do this last half of the week with IVV. I could see this going higher in the future looking at the chart in front of us. Let's move on to the next chart here, and that is going to be VXF. What are we seeing with VXF, guys? Good things with VXF. Look at this thing. 1, 2, 3 tops there. Usually when we see 3 tops, typically we see price move higher. And if you can see with my line here, it is definitely at that 3 top thing for sure. This would be the 4th top. That would be very interesting to see. I think price will definitely continue higher here. Good feelings here above all our moving averages. Really good things for VXF or the S Fund small caps. Let's look at it from a technical analysis moving forward. And from a technical analysis, what are we seeing here? A lot of red back here in April and May, and now we're in June. And look at this, guys. Excellent. We're moving out of the derivative oscillator. Oscillator is moving up. Negative 2.5, negative 2.0, negative 1. So this is good. Good price movement here. Price is reacting to that. Look at price, 3 positive bars here. Price is moving way up here with this last week being one of the highest. Good things here. These Bollinger Bands are very small, meaning we have probably a big price movement coming up. We're seeing that already, so that's good. Good news there. The oscillator is still below there, so this is a yellow light. Proceed with caution. But we did jump in this last week just to see what we could get. And as you can see, jumping in last week did pay off dividends a little bit there as we got a 2.3% return on this fund. So doing very well there on the long-term charts. Short-term charts, what are we seeing? Good things here as well, guys. This short-term chart, we saw it rise here in the 9th and the 10th of June, and then we saw it come back down here on our oscillator, our derivative oscillator. Not positive, but then we had a fake out. And usually with fake outs, when the derivative oscillator moves back up, that's a very positive move for price. And sure enough, price reacted very positively to that fake out. Our oscillator, our price percentage oscillator, is still above that red line there. This is a green sign here. That is a go. That is a green light for VXF this next week for the short-term basis. We are excited where VXF is going for these next couple weeks, and we are excited for the S Fund. So good fun to be in. Happy to be in it, and you'll see later on that's where we are at in the Top Notch channel. Moving on to our next fund. This is EFA, or International Markets. What are we seeing with this? With International Markets, we've had these trend lines drawn in here for a very long time. So these trend lines go all the way back to 2021 there in January, and they continue to rise. Very upward sloping chart. Thing has had good movement. Overall for the year, this fund is at around 11%, not lagging the other funds just a little bit, but still very good fun to be in for International Markets. Continuing to rise above all our trend lines here. Could see a bounce this week off this trend line, or I'm sorry, this moving average, so we can see that happen. We'll have to wait and see where that goes from there. On a technical analysis, what are we seeing for EFA, or the I Fund, International Markets? Long-term basis, this fund is going down a little bit. Not a positive sign there. Our price percentage oscillator, which is that blue line, is now starting to diverge a little bit to the bottom. And on Friday, or on this last week, we did see it take a negative turn here, so that's not positive for price. Oscillator's down. This is down. I would say this is a red light fund on a long-term basis, but let's look at it from a short-term basis. Short-term basis for EFA, or the International Markets Fund. As you can see, towards the 10th, we took kind of a dive here, which wasn't that great, but this, we'll see where it goes from here. Still a negative here. Not really positive signs here. I really don't like seeing this. Looking at the chart in front of us here, guys, short-term basis, very negative for the PPO line. That is negative. The derivative oscillator is also negative. So not good signs here. This is also a red. I would caution to stay away from EFA for this upcoming week. I know for the Top Notch channel, we have one more move for the week. I would definitely recommend us moving to a different fund since we have a little bit in EFA, and you'll probably see that move starting tomorrow. So please pay close attention to our Facebook and Twitter accounts for that move alert. Let's move on to one of the last funds, which is AGG. AGG, guys, what are we seeing? It did squeak out a win this week, all right? So AGG has been kind of on the bottom, not doing a whole lot. Under this 200-day moving average, look at the slope line. way up and then way back down. It is starting to make a recovery here, which is good. This is unknown territory. I don't have any trend lines drawn in here. So that is interesting to see. Could we see it come back to this moving average? Yes, indeed we could, so please be cautious with that. Let's look at it from a technical analysis. AGG long-term charts. What are we seeing? And as you can see here, positive signs here for AGG. The oscillator is moving upwards here. Derivative oscillator is positive. Look at the price movement from last week to this week. Big price movement here, so that is good. Got a little bit of a spinning top, so we'll have to see where things go. The PPO line is also, price percentage oscillator is positive. That is a green sign for this fund, a green go, good light for that on long-term basis for AGG or the F fund. Moving forward for the short-term charts for AGG, what are we seeing here? We're seeing a little different here. As you can see, this chart, the oscillator is moving down 7.9 to 6.9. That's a pretty big jump. You want to be careful there. PPO line is above the moving average. That's good. Price is up this last week, but please play cautiously with this. This is a yellow light chart. I think there are better charts out there than this one moving forward. And finally, guys, let's take you guys back to our charts for Top Notch. What is the Top Notch channel doing? Well, as you guys can see here, last week we jumped into that S fund to take advantage of that 2% gain this last week, and we did get some good gains out of that. The other fund we tried to look into was EFA, or put some of our funds in there, kind of diversify a little bit into international markets. Didn't work out as well for us. As you can see, charts were a little bit about this. Well, all charts were up. We did get a gain out of that for this last week, which is really, really good. Here it is right here. Show it to you guys. It wasn't that great compared to the S fund, so if you guys look for us in the future, I think for sure what we're going to be doing this next week. In fact, we'll put the funds there right now before we make our move, but we will have it on there. We're going to take 50% out of that I fund. This will be our second move for the month, and we're going to go ahead and put it in the S fund. So we'll be at 100% in the S fund, and we'll see where things go this next week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you guys. Please like, subscribe, or share. If you have comments, write them down below. And that's another top-notch video. We'll see you guys next time.